Hello, and welcome back to the Tea and Soju C-Drama podcast, your safe spot for C-Drama chatter. I'm your host, Liliana, and it's time to sit back, grab your tea, and let's chat Asian dramas. In today's episode, it is the end of the month. Actually, it's the beginning. By the time you hear this, I am going to be releasing this in March, but this is my currently watching at the end of February 2025. So that's what the episode today is. Just some housekeeping before we get into the podcast episode. If you like the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe on the platform you listen on. That really helps the podcast reach other listeners. For more content, check out Patreon, where you can find behind the scenes, first impressions, and movie reviews. I would like to thank my patrons are Purple Dinosaurus, Marta, Caitlin, Lorna, Cheryl, Raysheen, Nancy, Suze, Amanda, Jane, Cindy, Tate, Valerie, Julia, Catherine, Sandra, Naz, JM, HC, Haley, Maria, Akiniki, and Laura. Thank you guys so much for being a patron and supporting the podcast in that way. It truly does really help me to, keep putting out podcast episodes. And also, if you're just a free member on there, thank you for that as well. Finally, if you would like to chat to me or find a community, check out Discord, Instagram, and other socials. The link is in the episode notes. So if you're new to, currently watching episodes and how they work. Basically, I go through everything that is on my currently watching list, as well as any animes that I'm watching currently, as well as any books that I'm reading or listening to in, audio format that are related to Asian, what's the word? Asian culture or are written by Asian authors. So that is what it is. The categories are as follows. So I have my absolutely loving category, which are dramas that I am chasing episodes for and are completely obsessed with. The loving category, which are dramas I am really loving but not quite obsessed with. I am trying to keep up with episodes as best as I can. And then enjoying these are the ones I am enjoying and casually watching. I may be behind on a few episodes. And then we have the meh category. These are dramas that I may drop soon, but for now, I am still watching. Something keeps me watching. They're not yet sure category. These are dramas I watched very few episodes for, and therefore I'm still undecided about. We have the back burner shows, still watching, but slowly and in between airing dramas. Dramas I want to binge over the next month, dramas I dropped in the last month, and then on hold category, and then just the looking forward to starting. So these are dramas that are upcoming. We have confirmed dates, and I'm really looking forward to starting them. So, and then we just have the anime and the currently reading. And then to wrap up the episode, we'll have the completed dramas. So these will be all the dramas that I finished up in the last month. So I do a very, very quick rundown here. I give you the score that I gave them. And then over on Patreon, I post a more in-depth about what I liked about them and what I didn't. Some of these I will not talk about at all because I have or will have a podcast episodes for them. So if Patreons don't get a completed dramas Patreon special, that'll be why. It's because most of them will have podcast episodes and then I just post something else on Patreon, because I am trying to do every Wednesday I release something for Patreon. So every week patrons get access to extra content, so they get the normal episodes like everybody else over on the Tea and Soju podcast feed, main feed, and then patrons get an extra something every week. Sometimes they get 2 extra somethings. It just depends what I can put out that week. So that's, what we're doing. So let's just get into this. I'm not sure. Last month we had a really, really long currently watching list. I am watching quite a few things, but I don't know if it's going to be quite as long as last month's, but we're just going to see how it goes. So To no surprise, this will shock absolutely nobody. There is only one drama in my absolutely loving category, and I'm so glad that we now have something in there. It's been a hot minute actually since I've had something on my absolutely loving category, and there is only one drama that could fit that category right now, and that is The First Frost. Now, this drama is one that has been on my radar since the first poster went out, since it was announced that there was going to be a show about Sang Yan from Hidden Love. Now, I have been following this from the moment they confirmed it was going to happen to their booting ceremony, their ending ceremony. I have been on this one. I've been very excited. It was one of my most anticipated dramas for 2025. I was cautious about it going in because there's a lot of moving parts. The fact that this kind of had to live up to the hype of Hidden Love, which for me, it absolutely has. It's very different stories, and I think I love both of them for very different reasons. So I'm going to put that out there right from the get go. But also, they had a whole cast change, and I was so sad about that at first. And I thought, why would they do that? Why, I don't understand. Why couldn't they just go with the original actors that played the characters in Hidden Love? And now that I am watching The First Frost, I completely understand why they changed the actors. It might have just been scheduling, it might have just been the fact that they wanted different actors. But for me, the change in actors works, and it makes sense for the drama that First Frost is. So I'm glad they kind of went that route. So, if you don't know what The First Frost is about, let me tell you. So, basically, this is a story of when Yifan and Sang Yan, they were back in high school. They were, I don't know if I want to call them like sweethearts because they never actually were in a relationship, but they had feelings for each other and they went through a lot in high school. And they had kind of promised to go to the same university. Now, that doesn't happen, and then they meet up much later on in life. Because Yi Fan kind of walks into a bar called Overtime, and there she meets Sang Yan again. Now, they are both adults at this point, and they are in very, very different lives. And you get the feeling that the sort of almost even friendship breakup between them was not a good one. They did not leave on good terms, and they will, it's their story of coming back together. There is shenanigans that are going to happen because they end up living in the same house. It's kind of like Yifan's story of rediscovering herself and healing herself. She carries a lot of trauma with her from, when she was younger, but also she has just not had an easy life in general. She doesn't really have people that truly, truly care for her except her best friend. And I don't think she really has a support system in place. She kind of takes everything onto herself. And, her character is very drawn. She's very amicable to life. So she's just going through the motions, I feel like. And she's not really living, so to speak. And then we have Sang Yan, who feels like a very cold character. But if you've watched Hidden Love, he fiercely protects who he loves. And when he does love, he loves very fiercely. And I think Yifan truly needs that in her life. So obviously they meet up, they end up living in the same house together, and it's kind of like, that story. Now, that sounds very fluffy on the surface, and I think the MDL description also makes it sound very fluffy. This is not a fluffy drama. This is at times very heavy in terms of what it deals with. So, the first episode, we actually have an attempted rape on our female lead, on Yifan. And, it's quite bad to look at. It's I don't even know how to explain. And the way that she reacts, it makes you realize that there is something, there, that something happened to her to make her react in that way. And I don't know. I think a lot of people were not prepared for how heavy this drama was going to be, and that's fine. They kind of thought this was going to be Hidden Love 2.0. It was going to be very fluffy. Hidden Love is very fluffy because of the subject matter it handles. Even though you have a male lead who has a tragic background, his tragic background, and yes, we don't compare life stories because, what may seem like a lot to one person is not in essence a lot to another person, and grief is grief and trauma is trauma, and we don't compare it. But on the essence, the trauma that Yi Fan deals with is much, much more than Duan Zhuaxi was dealing with in Hidden Love. So, and Hidden Love deals with first love. It's beautiful and it's butterflies and it's all of these things. Whereas um First Frost is all, it's all about second chances, it's all about healing, it's all about dealing with that trauma. So I think it's very, very, very different stories. If you were comparing them in the essence of Hidden Love is daylight, it's sunshine, it's bright, whereas the First Frost, it's night, it's, sometimes bitter like a First Frost, like the snow, So I think that's what I would compare it with. Even when we had the very first, very, very first poster for this drama. It was Sangyan, so by Jingting, dressed in fairly dark clothes, and it was Yi Fan, who is played by Zhang Runan, and they were kind of like hugging, and she was also in pretty dark clothes, and she has like a tear going down her face, and the poster itself is very dark and moody. So I think you have to bear that in mind if you want to try this drama. This drama is going to be slow for a lot of people because I think their relationship develops very, very slowly. But to me, that fits the drama, that fits the characters, and it works. I don't find it slow, and I don't mind that their relationship develops slowly. If it was just like a couple of episodes and they're putting banking the characters together, I would be like, I don't think that works. So I'm very happy of how they're dealing with all of that. I just adore the banter between these two characters because even though Yi Fan is kind of like more drawn, she does give as good as she gets. And I adore that. It's Sang Yan, although he's a different type of character, Bai Jingting is playing him a little bit differently than Victor Ma did in Hidden Love. You can still see that is Sangyan, the facial expressions, the movements he sometimes does. It absolutely throws me back to how Victor Ma played this character in Hidden Love. So I adore this couple. I am completely obsessed with them. My FYP is full of edits of these two. And, I have now watched, I think, 18 episodes and at the time of recording. And this is the first drama I press play on every single day when there's new episodes. This is the drama I am running to every day for new episodes. So I loved it. I think people are watching at a slightly different rate because this is airing on Netflix, but Netflix is airing it, I think, an episode behind Yoku, and their airing calendar is bizarre. This is what I wish, actually. This is a little bit of a side tangent, but I would adore for Netflix to kind of like release an airing calendar like Chinese platforms do so people are aware when they're gonna have, new episodes. So it's a little bit hard to know when Netflix kind of like what schedule they're on, but Yoku has just released the schedule for for the last week of airing of this because it's almost done. I cannot believe it. But guys, this drama to me is perfection. I loved it. And like I said, I will not compare it to Hidden Love. I think it's very different stories. To me, I love them both. for different reasons. I think this is a much more mature kind of story than Hidden Love was. I think I just love it in all aspects of it. And I have so many notes. I'm not sure you guys comprehend how many notes I have on this drama, down to what, our female lead's nickname means in English and how that connects to the drama, down to so many little details that I've like Googled the heck out of this. And I am just completely in my first Frost era. I will absolutely be reviewing this one for the podcast, and I don't think I'm going to be doing it solo. I'm going to be reviewing it with somebody else, possibly two guests. We're just going to see if our schedules align, but this will absolutely be reviewed on Tea and Soju. And I think it's going to be a long one, so it might have to be a two parts. Hidden Love, I actually ended up doing it in two parts because there was so much for me to talk about, and I was just talking by myself. So just to give you like an idea, I right now, like you have your notes app on your phones. I have basically note apps for basically every single drama that I review on the podcast. And for the First Frost, I am currently sitting at 27 pages of notes on my phone, notes app. I literally have notes for every single first episode. I have general thoughts. I have, the episode titles for every single episode. This is the kind of obsession. So when I try to explain what my absolutely loving category is, this is it. I have edits that I'm working on for this drama that I'm going to post over on TikTok and possibly on Instagram. This is the kind of obsession that I mean that make dramas go from my loving category to my absolutely loving category. So I am not going to touch too much more on this. I love it. I truly do. I think it's going to be, overall, I'm hoping they keep through to the end. I'm not going to be calling it, the best of 2025 yet or anything like that until I finish it. But I think this is going to leave a mark on me, I think, for 2025, if nothing else. So we'll see how they handle the rest of the drama. But so far, I am very much loving it. Everything about it, the acting, the cinematography. I haven't even touched on that, but it is stunning for this. Absolutely stunning. So I love it. And we're going to move on because otherwise I could be here all day just talking about this drama. So next up is my loving category. And I have one drama on this. I am super behind on this drama, but it is still in my loving category. And that is the Korean drama study group. Now, I have watched 3, maybe 4 episodes of this, and I really want to finish it up. I'm really enjoying it. It's only 10 episodes and I am watching it on Viki. So this drama stars Hwang Min Hyun and it also stars Han Ji Eun, Cha Woo Min, and Lee Jong Hyun, Shin Soo Hyun, and Yoon Sang Jung. It has a lot of characters, and I think once you read the MDL description, you kind of understand why it has so many characters. So the story reads, it follows the life of student Yoon Ga Min, who wants to be good at studying but is only good at fighting, as he forms a study group at the worst school on earth and tells a fierce story about college entrance exams. Yoon Ga Min looks like a model student but is a student at Yusang Technical High School, which is one of the worst schools to study at. Although he studies extremely hard, his grades don't rise in the slightest. Despite that, Yoon Ga-min sits diligently at his desk with the goal of going to college. However, when his study group friends get bullied, Yoon Ga-min takes off his glasses and school uniform jacket to put his fighting skills to use. Lee Hon-gyong, Yoon Ga-min's teacher, dreams of seeing the school change for the better. Lee Han-gyong tutored Yuga-min during her university days and reunites with him when she is appointed as a temporary teacher holding a secret. So that is the MDL description for study group. In essence, it's about a group of, kids in high school who are trying to get into higher education, and it's their will and want to push beyond their means, in the fact that their life circumstances give them not a great start and put them quite far behind a lot of other peers, and it's their will and determination to truly seek better for themselves. So I think that's what the story is about, and I love that aspect of it. Now, this is an 18 plus for violence and profanity. This is violent, guys. So if you don't like that aspect of it, maybe it's not quite for you, but I would still highly recommend it. The violence is there, but I think this is also such a good found family. So the genres on MDL read action, thriller, comedy, and youth. And I think the comedy actually really lands well to break up that, action. I haven't seen what the thriller aspect of it yet, because I haven't gotten to the part where we find out what their study group teacher kind of, what's her mystery. So I will be excited to see where she's coming from. So the screenwriter for this is Oh Bo Hyun, and they've done things such as Behind Your Touch, Island, I Picked Up a Star on the Road. So I don't think I've watched, no, I haven't watched anything from this screenwriter. And then for director, this is directed by Lee Jung Hoon, and he's done things such as, oh goodness, he really does not have a lot. So he only has screenwriter and director, and those two are for movies, Miracle Letters to the President and Be With You. So I am really surprised that, in essence, almost such rookie a writer and director is doing so well. Now, I am very excited because Caitlin from No Sleep for Dramas has actually finished this one, and she gave it a 10 out of 10. So I am very excited to see where this drama ends up. I love the main actor. I'm so glad we're getting to see him in a action kind of drama, and he's just a lot of fun to watch on screen because he seems like almost this puppy golden retriever kind of guy, and then he has to fight and he becomes like a whole different character without his glasses. So I adore it. I am really, really enjoying it. I do just want to try and binge the rest of it. Now, the only reason that hasn't happened is because life has been lifing right now. I have had a couple of let's just put sad news for a very, very close family member, health wise. So that has kind of like taken priority, and I just don't have as much time to watch. But this is one that I hopefully want to try and binge watch the rest out of. It's just whether I can actually find the time between work, podcast, family, friends, and, everything else. So because we always say and we always joke, the podcast is your second job. It feels like your second full-time job a lot of the time. So that sometimes does not leave a lot of time for, actually watching things. So, that is study group, and that is my loving category. Now, next up, we have my enjoying category. And the first one up is one that I'm actually not going to talk about a lot. And the reason it's only on my enjoying is because I've only watched one episode and a half, and I actually need to sit down and binge this one because I'm reviewing it at the end of the month with somebody. So that is the Korean drama Mellow Movie. I am quite excited about this one, and I'm not actually going to talk too much about it because I think I mentioned it last we're currently watching for my upcoming dramas that I really wanted to watch. So this is 10 episodes. It stars Choi Woo-shik and Park Bo-young. It's the same screenwriter that did Our Beloved Summer, which is one of my all-time favorite Korean dramas. It is 10 episodes on Netflix. So I'm quite excited about actually finishing the first episode. It didn't capture me straight away, but I can see potential there. So there's not a lot I can talk about it because I haven't watched too much. So I definitely want to get back to this one, and I think this one I will probably just binge the heck out of it the day before I have to review it, so it's very very fresh in my mind. Because I am watching so much right now that it sometimes gets a little bit confusing. So this one, I think that's what I'm going to do. I will probably just end up binging it. But like I said, not a lot to say there because I'm only one episode in. Now, the next one is another Chinese drama, and it is called The Best Thing. Now, this is airing on iQIYI. It's an iQIYI drama, and it stars Zhang Linghe as, should we say, Dr. He. So his name is He Su Yi. And then we have Shu Ru Han, and she plays Shen Shifan. So this is our main couple. We have other support roles, but this is our main couple. Now, for our female lead, you might have seen her in other dramas such as The Hope, A Go Back Lover, The Forbidden Flower, which for me is her best role to date. I really like that one. She's also been in Perfect and Casual and Out with a Bang. So I've seen actually pretty much all of these. I am finding. Yeah, I've seen Perfect and Casual, Out with a Bang. I've also watched Catch Up My Prince. So I have actually seen quite a few of her roles. Now, for me, The Forbidden Flower is still my favorite role of hers. It's not going to be for everybody because it's a very large age gap, and the story requires for them to be an age gap between female lead and male lead. So if you don't like that, that's definitely not going to be for you. But it's very artsy, it's very beautiful, and I really, really liked that one. And then we have Zhang Linghe, which the man needs basically no introduction at this point, but he's been in things such as The Story of Cooning Palace, Love's Rebellion, The Princess Royal. He's also been in Tiger and Crane, My Journey to You, Love Between Fairy and Devil. So he has been in quite a few things. I actually have an episode on Zhang Linghe on the podcast. So if you want to know more about him and the fact that this man actually has an engineering degree, just saying, go and listen to that episode because I was surprised by a lot of things that I actually found out about him. So what is this drama about? It is a modern drama, which we don't really get to see a lot out from Zhang Linghe, and it's adapted from the novel I Ni Shi Wu Zugu Zi Hao De Shi by Shang Li. And the MDL description reads: the hotel room manager Shen Xifan is a workaholic. She suffers from insomnia and migraines due to her high intensity work. So she goes to see a Chinese medicine doctor and meets the gentle and handsome Chinese medicine doctor He Su Yi at the tail end of her youth. However, she often forgets to take the medicine due to her busy work and always causes He Su Yi headaches due to her forgetfulness. I'm actually not going to go on with that because it feels like that description doesn't feel like what the drama is about. She is a bit of a workaholic, but that is not the reason that she has insomnia. So she has insomnia, yes, because she's stressed and she works a lot, but she's in a relationship and the relationship itself is kind of toxic and it's not good for her. And that causes her a lot of grief as well. So that is why she's there. Her parents actually have been she's been trying melatonin and all of these things to kind of help her sleep, and nothing seems to really be working. So she gets sent to a TCM, so traditional Chinese doctor. And basically, our male lead, played by Zhang Linghe, is that Chinese, medicine doctor. And he catches feelings for her very, very quickly. Like, this man is kind of like, he falls very quickly and it's adorable. So he's intrigued by her very, very off the bat. Now, at the beginning of the drama, she's still in a relationship that does get sorted very quickly. So if, that's keeping you away, then it's not a big factor for the whole drama unless that ex comes back. As of yet, he hasn't, and I have watched 10 episodes at this point. So this is going to be 28 episodes. They basically meet because, she's going to see him, and, she keeps kind of like asking him for help. And then when he's kind of like not really her doctor anymore, I think they kind of start talking back and forth. And even before then, they already start talking a lot back and forth, and they kind of have a mutual interest in each other. And, they kind of form a relationship. So that's what the story is about. Now, guys, there's not a lot of plot to this. Um, so this drama is way more vibes than it is plot. That's realistically speaking, that's what you get from the first 10 episodes. Now, what I do like, I will say straight off the bat, I really enjoy the way they're showing the traditional Chinese medicine, the way that at the beginning of every single episode, they'll put a ingredient. I say an ingredient, but they'll put like a plant app or something. So they'll say like mint or ginger or something like that. And then they'll tell you what it's good for, what it can help us, within our body and that sort of thing. That alone is really, really cool to me. I love the fact that they don't push that TCM is the end all and be all. What they say is TCM can work alongside traditional Western medicine to help. So it can help with like headaches and that sort of thing. But what our male lead focuses on mostly is he works at a big hospital that does TCM and Western medicine. And basically, he works with cancer patients to alleviate symptoms from chemotherapy. So I adore that look into this culture. We see TCM a lot of the time in historical dramas, but it's very rare that we actually see it in regular modern dramas. So I was very excited for that. And I really like that aspect. Now, is this drama going to give you the most intricate plot out there? No, it's really not. As of right now, it's very fluffy. It's very beautifully, guys, this is all set in spring, so it's cherry blossoms galore, it's flowers galore, it's very bright. Even like the colors they use are very bright, so it's very happy-go-lucky. So if that's not your thing, then I don't think this drama is going to work for you. Like I said, I feel like a lot of this is very vibes. The camera absolutely loves Zhang Her and is doing him all the God's work because he looks stunning on screen every time. Like the shots they get of him, stunning. The man gets to play this doctor. He gets to play a very relaxed character. He seems to be, very content with life in general, and he's a happy character. He's very open, very warm. So that is a different kind of character that I don't think we often see from Zhang He. He tends to play like the cold, in feeling kind of characters. So this is different for him, and he's doing it brilliantly well. He gets to be a skater. So guys, I am really, really enjoying this one. I didn't think I was going to like it this much, because I didn't think there was going to be a lot of plot. But even saying that, even if it's just a fluffy kind of drama, I'm really enjoying it. Sometimes that's all we need. And that for me is working a lot right now. So this is going to be 28 episodes. Like I said, it is airing on iQIYI, and as of right now, I have watched 10 episodes, and I'm enjoying it. So this is directed by Randy Chu, and he has directed Smile Code. I think that's the only other thing that he's directed. I'm just looking. Oh, he's directed movies more than shows. So he's directed The Yin Yang Master Dream of Eternity. He's also directed Shining for One Thing, and also More Than Blue the series, which is a drama. I don't know why. So oh, okay. So he's done cinematography for those. Okay. So that's the director, and then as for the writer of this, it's O.C. Gia, and she's written things such as Hidden Love. Ring any bells? And Mirror, A Tale of Twin Cities. So she's a screenwriter. Like, we don't talk about Mirror, A Tale of Twin Cities. We do talk about Hidden Love. So if you get the feeling of hidden love where everything's very bright and fluffy and whatnot. This is kind of like what the best thing is, even though I don't know if the writing is kind of part for the original novels. So let's put it that way. I'm really, really enjoying this one. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to. This is part of the Aichi Love On series, so you know that's what you're going to get with it. So that is the Chinese drama, The Best Thing. So next up on my currently watching, I'm already giggling because this drama is bonkers. So the next drama up on my list is again another Chinese drama, and it is called Filter. Now, this drama is bonkers in every sense of the word. And I have just done a first thoughts for it over on Patreon. So you can go and check that out. So basically, you can watch this one on Tencent or WeTV as well as Viki. This drama stars Tan Jianxi as Tang Chi, who is a scientist who creates makeup. And then we have Landy Li, who plays Su Chung Chung, who goes and works for the company he works at. Now, these two knew each other in college and school, and so Landy Lee's character, Su Chung Chung, she's also always been known for not necessarily being, I don't want to say it that way. So people don't think she's attractive. So she has like blemishes and that sort of thing. So a lot of people don't find her attractive. And in high school, she was in love with the male lead. And it's very funny because you get to see kind of the both of their point of views, and he thought she was a bit of a stalker and she thought she was just showing her love. So it's really interesting actually, that part where you can sort of see the same story but by two different people, and the narrative is quite different. So I thought that was quite interesting. Basically, they meet back up again in the future, and he is very mean and horrible to her when they meet back up, and then they see each other again, but she has been given something before they meet up, which is a bracelet, and this bracelet is basically kind of like a filter. So she can click the bracelet and she becomes somebody else. So she becomes another person who is like aesthetically pleasing to everybody, or she can click a filter and like take all of her blemishes away, or she can do like a makeup filter. So it's kind of like that situation, and it's bonkers because he falls in love with the filter version of her, and he kind of like tries to pursue her, and it's their back and forth. Guys, there's episodes where she turns into an alpaca, she turns into a golden statue. It's bonkers. When I tell you it's bonkers. Now, do I laugh from episode 1 onwards? Absolutely. They get into the most ridiculous situations. The comedic timing of both Tan Jianqi and Landy Li are perfect. They just work really well together. Now, my only downside is there is a lot of lying involved in this, and I don't know how they're going to get out of that lying to like form a relationship. I've now watched 7 episodes of this, so we're just going to see where we are. But that's all I'm really going to talk about for this one because, like I said, I've done a first impressions, and that is now available over on Patreon, so you can go and check that out for like a more full thoughts. And lastly, on my enjoying category, I have the drama Always Home. Now, this is such a nice little drama. I've only just started, so I've only watched 3 episodes. I'm not quite hooked yet, but a friend of mine said she kind of like got way more hooked after episode 5. So I'm looking forward to kind of watching a bit more and seeing how I feel after episode 5. Now, when I tell you, so this is called Always Home, this gives me When I Fly Towards You vibes. So not the same story, guys, but it gives me the vibes of When I Fly Towards You. So if you liked that drama, you're probably going to like this one. This one is 30 episodes. It's a Tencent video drama, but it's also airing on WeTV and Viki, and it stars Zai Xiao Wen. It stars Daniel Zhou, Yang Shizi, and He Chui. So those are the 4 main characters. And what the heck is the story about? So NDL reads, the story begins with a small town girl, Chen Huan Er, moving to a big city with her parents. She and her 2 new friends, Zheng Shi Qi and Song Tong have been together since high school. From college to graduation, they go through all the important nodes in life together. During this period, there are ordinary and trivial days such as reading, outings, sports games, and book crafting. There was also the sourness of secret love, the unwillingness to die prematurely, the unpreparedness to face family changes, and the confusion and pain of facing the death of a loved one for the first time. These three youths support each other through the pain of growing up, growing from ignorant teenagers to adults who have integrated into this society. So, this is youth drama down to a T. And we haven't had a really, really good youth drama in a hot minute. So I'm very, very excited. This scored I am just going to bring it up very quickly, but I believe this has like a 7 point something over on Douban, which is insane. That is quite high for a Douban score. I am just going to bring it up on Douban and see what the score. So currently it's holding a 8.3 on MDL, and it is all completed now. So the whole drama is actually out already. So this right now is holding a 7.8 on Douban, which is high. Like 7.8 is high. So I am very excited. Like I said, I have only watched the first 3 episodes, so I need to watch some more to really, really make up my mind. So that is the drama Always Home. Now, my meh category has one drama in, and that is the Chinese drama Love and Destiny. Now, guys, I'm watching this because I have to, because I'm reviewing it for a podcast. But if I didn't have to, I would have dropped the heck out of this show. This is a xianxia, and I don't honestly know if it's me who's just not in the mood for xianxia, or if it's the story, or what is happening. But I'm just not enjoying this drama. I feel like I'm a bit bored a lot of the time. The show is very predictable, which Xianxia tends to be very predictable anyways. Like, you've watched one, you kind of watched them all, but that didn't used to bother me, and I've watched other Xianxias and still enjoyed them, but this one just is not working for me. It is 60 episodes long, which feels like 150 at this point. But it's basically set in the same world as Eternal Love or 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. And that's why we're reviewing it. I'm going to be reviewing it soon. So that's why I have to watch it. But it's just one where, like I said, if I didn't have to review it, I would have dropped it, because I'm really not. It's not the fact that I'm not enjoying it, I'm just bored. And there's so much other things that I'm enjoying it, which probably makes this feel even worse, because there's so many good other shows that I'm really, really enjoying. So that's problematic. I am watching it on Viki, and let's just say I'm watching at a fast pace, let's put it that way, because it's definitely not a one speed. So this stars Chung Chen as the male lead, and we have Nini as the female lead. Nini is my absolute favorite part of this drama. Let's put it out there. I really like her in this. I like the actress. The role could be better, but I do really like the way she's playing the character. I don't really have a lot to say about this, because I'm going to review it anyway. So this is a 2019 drama, and like I said, I'm watching it because I have to. But that's it. Now, the not sure category yet has one drama, and that is the Korean drama The Witch. I don't know, guys, about this one. I really don't. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and I get it. The first 2 episodes were a lot of setup, but I feel like I have no clue where this story is going. So this stars Park Jin Young as Lee Dong Jin, and it stars Woo Jang Yu as Park Mi Jong. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to finish this one or not. I don't know. MDL reads the story of a man who fell in love with a woman called a witch. Park Min Jong is a woman who wears pretty clothes and enjoys complete freedom. She became a translator by taking advantage of her English skills, which she has been good at since her childhood. Her mother passed away giving birth to her, and since she has stood out even when she stayed still, perhaps because of her unique and mysterious atmosphere. From some point in her life, male students fell in love with her, and all the people she met called her a witch. She's used to loneliness now, but from time to time, she recalls a boy, Yi Dongjin, from high school with a bright smile who used to pass by her with his group of friends. So that's what the drama is about. It's 10 episodes, and like I said, I've watched 2 of them, and I don't know because I'm still not sure what's happening. So that's where we're at right now. I don't know if I'm going to be finishing this one or not. We'll see. I might give it another episode or 2 and just see where I'm land with it. So that is the not sure yet. Back burner is empty. Dramas I want to binge over the next month is empty because no time for it, to be quite honest. Dramas I dropped. Motel California. And you know what? After seeing the feedback, I'm kind of glad I did. Not a lot of people liked it. I just wasn't vibing with the characters. Most of them were very unlikable, and it wasn't even like unlikable in a human kind of way. They were just plain unlikable. I did not like the fact that there was so much misunderstanding. So I ended up, I think, only watching 4 episodes, and I was like, I'm out at this point. 3 episodes. And after reading some of the comments from other people that I quite trust their opinions, I'm glad I did. I'm so sad because this is a Lee Se-young, and I adore Lee Se-young, but this project just was not it. So I ended up dropping that one, and that is, Motel California. Now, on hold, I have 2 dramas right now. I have Under the Skin Season 2 and Guardians of Da Fang. I just haven't had the time to go back to these, but I don't intend on dropping them. So I definitely want to go back and watch them. Now, for looking forward to starting, I have 3 dramas right now. One of them is called Jin. Now, this is already out at the time of me recording, but I'm just trying to catch up with everything else that I'm watching before I start this one. I am going to check it out just because I feel like the premise could be interesting. The premise of this reminds me of the story of Kuning Palace. It's giving me that kind of vibe to it. So we'll see. I loved the story of Kuning Palace. I'm not saying it's the same by any stretch of the word. I'm just saying it gives me those vibes. So the MDL description reads, Jiang Si, the 4th lady of Dongping Bo Mansion, is reborn after dying at the hands of her lover, Yu Jin. Determined to rewrite her fate, she breaks off her engagement, outsmarts her cruel aunt, opens a perfumery, and investigates a series of mysterious crimes. She reunites with Yu Jin, and despite their unresolved past, they join forces to change tragic destinies, saving her siblings and clearing her father's name. As they overcome hardships together, Jiang Si's feelings for Yu Jin rekindle, and they work hand in hand to protect the peace of the Zhou dynasty, embracing a lifetime of prosperity. So this is going to be 40 episodes. It is a Tencent video production, but it is in a bunch of places. Tencent Video, iQIYI, WeTV, and Viki all have it. I'm going to probably be watching it on iQIYI just because I have some traveling to do next week, and I'll probably I can download episodes on iQIYI. So that's probably where I'm going to be watching it. So this stars Jing Tian as our female lead, and we have Zhang Wanyi as our male lead. So these are the 2 characters. Jing Tian is hit or miss for me, so we'll see how this role lands. And the male lead, his characters, I mentioned his characters. He's a good actor, but I think he's been typecasted because his characters are starting to feel a little bit samey. So I'm hoping this can be slightly different in any way. I don't know. So we'll see. But that is Si Jin. There is no English title. They've just named it Si Jin, and that's it. So the next one is an iQIYI production, and it's called Northwood. Northwood. It is going to be airing March 3rd. So by the time you listen to this episode comes out, they would have already the episode, I mean, not the episode, this drama would have already come out. This is going to be 40 episodes, and this is an ensemble cast. There is a lot of main roles. If you look at the poster, it's, a lot of people. The reason, MDL puts it down to, so Bai Lu is in this. We also have Oh Hao, we have Zai Zi Lu in this, Gao Zi Ting, Evander Margraf, we have Liu Hong Fu. So that's who the main cast is, which is the kids, and then you have all the parents. This is kind of like, I feel like this is going to give me when the river run is it when the river runs through you sort of situation, where it's kind of like an alley and they all live in that alley together. But I'm going to read you the MDL description. It is a little bit long. So the MDL description reads: in the summer of 2000, Ma Si, a 10-year-old girl whose life is a mystery, arrives at Flower Street by the canal. Due to extraordinary appearance, she became the most popular person on Flower Street. Three teenagers, Shi Wanghe, Xing Qi, and Hai Ku, have always been around Ma Si, standing up for her when some punks come to harass her. After an accident in high school, Ma Si's brother and grandmother passed away, and Ma Si disappeared. Chen Ri stays in his hometown for school, while Chi Wanghe, Qing Shi, and Hai Kao and Da Huazi reunite in Beijing. Da Huazi has contracted a delivery point. Shi Wanghe works for an internet company doing local life services, and Hai Ku works for an engineer in another big internet factory as an engineer. Only Shang-Chi is still muddling through his days. Because of the sudden appearance of Ma Si, the young boys and girls who grew up together come together again. However, the pressure of competition and life has put them all in a state of confusion. After 8 years of absence from their hometown, the teenagers of that year return to Flower Street on the canal one after another, except for Ma Si. But when everyone sees the hope of a new life, Ma Si is also on the way back. So it's going to be about, it's going to be a youth drama. You're going to see them as youths, and then you're going to see them as grown-ups and then returning to their hometown. I'm really hoping this is, going to give me a really good found family, a good romance. So the screenwriter for this is Zhao Dongling, and she's written some things such as, oh my goodness, a lot of her stuff is to be announced. She has a lot of things, but it's all to be announced. The Fearless Season 2, A Long Way Home, The Story of Xing Fu, Ordinary Greatness, which I have watched and it was good. The 800, Hunching, My Father and Daddy, Red Rose, Housing. So she has quite a lot. I have just not watched a lot from this screenwriter. And then directors, we have two directors. We have Yao Xiao Fang, and he's done things such as Husband and Wife, Tender Light, War of Faith, Always on the Move, Vacation of Love. So he's done quite a few things. And then we also have Zhou Nan, and he's done things such as I Remember, Somebody to Love, and Dear Diary, which I really liked. I really liked Dear Diary. So that is, the drama that I am very much looking forward to. It's going to be a slightly different role for Bai Lu, I believe. It's been a hot minute since she's done anything youth related, so I'm very excited to see what this one comes up with. And then lastly, it's a K-drama for my excited to check out in March, and that's When Life Gives You Tangerines. So this is going to be the IU and Park Bo Gum show. It's going to be 16 episodes, and it's going to air on Netflix. It starts March 7th, and I am just so excited about this one. I feel like this one is going to break my heart in all the, in all the right places, so to speak, but I'm ready for it. I'm very, very excited about this one. We shall see how it goes. So that is When Life Gives You Tangerines. So that is everything I am watching, everything I am planning to watch soon, and everything drama related. So for anime, I am still watching Apothecary Diary season 2, still watching My Happy Marriage season 2. I have actually started watching Solo Leveling, and I freaking love it. I'm watching it with my partner actually. mean, we just watch a couple of episodes a day, and we're almost done with season 1, and then we're going to start season 2. But I am really, really enjoying it. This is gory as heck, but it works for me. I was telling my partner, this reminds me a little bit of like Tokyo Ghoul in vibes. Gore wise, not story wise. Story wise, it's very different, but gore wise. So I am very excited about continuing to watch that one. And then currently reading nothing that is like Asian related as of right now, I don't think. But I am going to have next month. I think you'll have quite a few because I'm so excited because I'm going to do with two friends of mine. We're going to do like a 24-hour reading-a-thon, and it's going to be like over a weekend because we're over 30 and there's no way we can probably do the 24 hours straight. We may do, we may not, but we'll see. We're going to do it over a Saturday and a Sunday. And yeah, where I am starting to choose my books, and I have quite a few that are Asian related, especially like quite a few Japanese short stories. I'm quite excited about those. But the only one that I have finished that is, by an Asian author is Immortal by Su Lin Tan. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was good, but I think it could have been better. There was a lot of places where the story felt, I don't know, the pacing was a little bit off its rockers for me. I think the pacing could have, been better. What I wrote was I ended up really enjoying this one. The pace is fast and we jump right into the story from chapter 1. To me, it feels like a xianxia, but in book format, which for me personally works. I really enjoyed Li Yan as a character. She's smart but not perfect, although she sometimes comes across a little immature. It tracks as she's lived a fairly sheltered life. But throughout the story, we definitely see growth from her as she discovers who she is. The romance together with the god of war was well built through the story as well. Add in a nice little found family and I'm sold. The fact we get to travel through a couple of realms really rounded out the story nicely for me. Now, why did I only give it 3.5 stars? I don't know. Something was missing for me. I felt like everything was a little bit predictable in places. So this is the same author that did oh my goodness, I'm blanking. Daughter of the Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and I much preferred that series. I thought it just worked better for me. So that is, Immortal. Still, I highly recommend if you like, fantasy and whatnot. I think you'll enjoy this. So we are just going to finish up the episode with a quick fire round of all the dramas that I completed in February. So I finished up Flourished Peony. Loved it. Not going to talk about it very much. Not even going to give you guys my rating because you are getting a review for this very soon on the podcast. So we're not going to do that. The Story of Minglad. I finished it. I enjoyed it. You have an episode coming up very, very soon. So I'm not even going to touch too much on it either. Moonlight Mystique. I scored it an 8 and I reviewed this one on the podcast. So if you want to know my full thoughts, you can scroll back. I think it's 2 weeks and you'll have the Moonlight Mystique review. Perfect Match. I scored it an 8 and I'm going to be talking about this one over on Patreon because I still actually have quite a few notes for this one. So I'm going to give like a little mini review over on Patreon for this one. I loved the female characters. I really disliked the male characters. They were poorly written in places. I think the stories weren't, I don't know. I really liked the first couple and then the second couple really went off the rails for me. They were not my favorite. I was a little bit bored by them. I didn't really enjoy them. And then I really liked the last couple as well. So there was a lot of, I don't know, the writing was just a bit of a miss for me on this one personally. I finished up I Am Nobody Season 2. I scored it an 8.5. I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it just as much as Season 1, if not more. I think the relationships in this was so much better. So I ended up really, really watching it, really enjoying it. The White Olive Tree, I finished it. I was broken by it. I will be reviewing it because you guys asked. So I will review my trauma for you guys with this drama, and then, I will close the door on it forever, I think. I finished up Love Scout. I scored it a 9, I think, and I already reviewed this one for the podcast. And then I finished up a Taiwanese drama called I Am Married Butch. I ended up scoring this an 8, and I think this drama is not going to be for everybody because it toes the line between cheating and not cheating a little bit, so that already is going to throw some people off. But these people are very human and these situations are very relatable, so I don't think that's necessarily going to work for everybody. But I ended up enjoying it. It's a very quick watch because I think it's only like 8 episodes. Is it 8 episodes? I'm just pulling up the MDL. 12 episodes, but they're only about 30 minutes. Some of them are 25 minutes. So it is a very, very quick watch. So that is I Am Married a Butch. So that is literally everything I finished up in February. I don't know how. The shortest month of the year, and I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dramas. I'm like, I don't know what happened there. But I'm not complaining about it. It was a fairly good month for dramas. I feel like March is gonna be better. Because we're already getting better dramas anyways. So I'm very, very excited for March as a whole to see what we're gonna get, more out of it. And I think that is it. That is the episode, guys. That is my currently watching list and how it's sitting at the end of February, beginning of March. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you're watching any of these dramas and you want to talk, come and drop me a message on any of the socials or come and chat to me on Discord. A lot of us are watching a lot of these dramas. So, feel free to head over to Patreon for more thoughts on a lot of them. And I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I shall catch you next time. Bye.